Pressure changes how we think and how we respond to circumstances. Now, depending on how you assess the event, you could see it as either a threat or a challenge. Now, when we let pressure get the best of us, it does one very interesting thing. It puts us on defense instead of offense. It puts us in a position where we're playing not to lose versus playing to win. In those key moments where it feels like everything's on the line, how do you shift your perspective from threat to challenge, but most importantly, from playing not to lose to playing to win? In today's video, I'm going to break down 5 key ways to perform better under pressure. But before I do, there is one very key distinction to understand as a creative when it comes to performing under pressure. In the book, Performing Under Pressure, The Science of Doing Your Best When It Matters Most, they highlighted a study conducted with 12,000 people over a 10-year period. And what they found as a result of this study is that even though pressure can help you to get stuff done and put you under the gun of a time constraint, it doesn't necessarily have that same effect when it comes to creativity. Through their research, what they found is that people tend to get confused about time pressure and the difference between getting stuff done and doing good work. While time pressure has helped people to eliminate procrastination and get off their rear ends, it hasn't actually helped them get more done. Pressure might make you feel more creative, but it does not help you do higher quality work. In fact, it does just the opposite, usually with consequences to the project that is being worked on. When creativity is under the gun of time pressure, the project that group was working on usually ended up getting killed. It does not get supported by the company and it loses funding. Time pressure may drive people to get more done, but it causes them to think less creatively. One very interesting thing about this study is that even though these individuals were given evidence that they were less creative and that those ideas and solutions had less impact, they still reported feeling more creative on those days when they were asked how they performed. The good news is what they found is that a lot of these tools and pressure solutions they speak about in this book, we already have these at our fingertips. We just don't tend to leverage them. Now, when it comes to having solutions or pressure solutions, as they refer to in this book, they outline 22 different strategies or methodologies. Here, I'm going to break down my top 5 and how I've personally used them in my life and business and seen great success so far. Number 1, Befriend the Moment. This pressure solution operates on the premise of think of pressure moments as a challenge or opportunity and fun. Now, if we dread the moment, we automatically see it as a threat. But if we see it as an opportunity or a challenge, or even embrace it and try to have fun, that gives you the opportunity to have a new way to see the event. And instead of operating from defense and thinking, if I fail, then it's the end of the world, it puts a new spin on the event. You're more resourceful, and you can find ways to make this endeavor more fun and experience it as a challenge and something to grow through instead of a pass-fail event. I know for me personally, as I've infused this into my life and in my business, things tend to be a lot more fun because we take them less seriously. And for me, I've been able to even laugh at the event that in the past would be a lot more intimidating and something I would buckle under pressure with. Number 2, multiple opportunities. This pressure solution operates on the premise of this is one of many opportunities. So many times in life, we see this situation as a one and only chance. It's our one speech, it's our one sales call, it's our one video, it's our one podcast. But when we see it as one of many opportunities, we see it in a sea of possibilities, and it's no longer this one chance event, again, of pass-fail. It becomes something where we're now in the art of practice, and we can lighten up a little bit and experience it as one of many opportunities. I've performed now up to about 400 or 500 sales calls. And I remember in the beginning when I would get on these calls, I put so much pressure on myself to close the sale. When I started to see that each opportunity was one of many, things became a lot easier and there wasn't any pressure to close. The result? Detachment. Not feeling like I had to or else, And it was really a better experience all around, not just because I took the pressure off, but because I could be lighter and have more of a connecting conversation instead of thinking that I needed to drive this call to a particular result. And if I didn't get the sale or didn't get the result I wanted, that it would be a bad thing. Seeing it as one of many opportunities does wonders for perspective. Number 3, downsize the importance. This pressure solution operates on the premise of shrink the importance of the pressure moment. If you've ever been in a room where you thought there were 5 to 10 really important people in that room and you had to say the right thing, you had to look a certain way, you've most likely experienced this pressure solution in its shadow side or on the negative side of thinking that it was the one chance, thinking that it was the most important thing that you had to do and that these important people were everything. The more that you can focus on just the select 1 or 2 importance, or realize that it's not as important as you think it is, and there are no mistakes, that you can just show up as yourself and do your best in the situation, that you can now see it's not as important as you're inflating it to be. Because most likely what's also true is that you're overemphasizing the importance of this event. And again, it's just one of many, but it's not as important as you think it is. I used to get this way when I would go to larger networking events, feeling like I had to connect with all of these different people, when I realized that there'd be many more opportunities for that, but most importantly, that it wasn't as important I was making it to connect with all these different people, and I just focused on establishing 1 or 2 powerful connections. Everything changed. Number 4, recall you at your best. This pressure solution operates on the premise of, I've done it before, I can do it again. This and number 5 are my 2 favorites, but operating from your best is absolutely huge. One of my mentors back in the day had me write down what he calls a brag book. And this is highlighting all of my successes, all of the things I've accomplished, all the things I've done. And not only did this help me to see all that I've been through and really stack the positives of everything I'm overcome, but all the things I'm really good at, it helped to give me a lens of really seeing that I've been through something before and I can do it again. Not only that, but it helped me to see where I've trained. It helped me to see what skills I've acquired and what to lean into, so that when I do go into pressure situations, I know exactly what I can rely on as an asset that I'm already good at, that I don't need to rise to the occasion in the moment and do better that I haven't done before. I could leverage and rely on something I'm already good at. Number 5, be a control freak. This pressure solution operates on the premise of focus on what you can control. As I mentioned just a moment ago, these last 2 are my favorite, but number 5 here, be a control freak. 1, I love it because it's just funny, but 2, I love it because there are so many things that we can't control. There are so many things that are outside of our control, whether it's other people, what they say, what they do, or how life just unfolds in an unpredictable way and not according to our plan. When we can really look at the things that we can control and control those to the best of our ability and master those, the rest tends to fall away. But now when we focus on the things we can't control, that's what produces anxiety or overwhelm or the feeling of pressure stacking up to the point where it could be a panic attack or something more serious. So looking at the situation and focusing on what you can control really leverages your strengths, what you can do, and then leaves out what you can't, because you can't control that anyways. While it may be better for creativity to allot more time for the task at hand, that's not always the case. What I've personally found, and my hope is by you seeing this video, is that you now have a few ways to practice to perform better under pressure. And the next time that you do find yourself in a pressure-filled situation, that you have the confidence to exercise these practices. 1, because hopefully you've practiced them ahead of time, but 2, you now have the confidence in your body that you know you can switch from seeing this as a threat to seeing it as a challenge, potentially even having fun in the process. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that button to subscribe to the channel, and be sure to turn on that little bell to notify you every time a new episode goes live. Until next time, see you soon.